The PlayStation 5 has been breaking records for Sony since its launch, surpassing 50 million units sold as of December 2023. It's an impressive milestone, but at the end of the day, it's all about the games, particularly the exclusives. With the new year finally here, it's time to check out all of the big titles, with the occasional releases also coming to PC and PS4, that PS5 owners can look forward to in 2024 and beyond. Please note that we will be considering console exclusives as well. So, without further ado, let's get into it, starting with Rise of Ronin. Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja are no strangers to releasing PlayStation-only titles. However, none of us imagined it had Rise of the Ronin in its pocket and ready to release on March 22nd for PS5. Set in feudal Japan during the Bakumatsu, you play as a veiled edge with its own backstory who meets up with various historical figures, including the legendary Sakamoto Ryoma. Based on the decisions made and bonds formed, there are different outcomes and endings to unlock. There's plenty to look forward to with the gameplay, with the open world having 3 major cities, Edo, Yokohama, and Kyoto, along with the countryside and other areas to explore. You can undertake side quests and earn reputation, and there are even some Souls-like mechanics like karma to recover upon death. A lot has yet to be revealed for the title, but thus far, the thought of gliding across cities and unleashing death from above or parrying a flaming arrow back at an enemy to ignite your blade and devastate other foes looks great. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. After over 3 years since its PS4 launch, The Last of Us Part 2 is getting the remastered treatment, which is a fancy way of saying that an official PS5 version is finally launching. Out on January 19th for $50 $10 if you already own the PS4 version, it features 3 lost levels cut from the final game, with developer commentary to provide more details. Director Neil Druckmann and narrative lead Hallie Gross will also provide commentary for all the in-game cutscenes, with Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, and Laura Bailey offering their own insight. There's also guitar free play, with other instruments to unlock, speedrun mode, DualSense support, new accessibility options, and 2 graphical modes, fidelity and performance. However, the biggest addition is No Return, a roguelike survival mode where players progress to various locations battling the infected. There are different objectives like Holdout, where you must survive with an AI companion against the infected. Though upgrades, weapons, and skills disappear after every run, you can unlock new outfits that persist between runs. With challenges, random mods for encounters, and gambits to complete for more resources, No Return could be as endearing as God of War Ragnarok's recent Valhalla DLC. Pacific Drive. There have been plenty of roguelites and roguelikes lately, but Pacific Drive puts a little spin on it by adding driving. Trapped within the Olympic exclusion zone in the Pacific Northwest, hence the name, players must venture into the rapidly changing wilderness with nothing but their wits and station wagon to survive. The exclusion zone contains its fair share of anomalies, some more dangerous than others, but thankfully you can upgrade the car to boost its survivability. Of course, that means getting out and scavenging those resources by hand. Better hope you didn't forget to leave the car in park, lest it goes rolling downhill on its own. Pacific Drive offers an intriguing mix of exploration, lore, and supernatural atmosphere, and we can't wait to see what secrets the zone holds. It launches on February 22nd for PS5 and PC. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sees players explore the world outside Midgar, and they'll happen upon new locations and towns, like Crow's Nest, brimming with side quests and characters. There are new activities to play around with, from the CCG Queen's Blood to piano playing and new summons to bring into battle. The combat system has also received several revamps with new synergy attacks. Those who want to experience the setting can expect a 40-hour-long journey, but much of that playtime is in the side content. You can easily spend another 60 hours getting lost in the world and completing side quests. With 100 hours of gameplay promised, it's a massive game in scope and scale, and it's out on February 29th for PS5. Death Stranding 2. Any Hideo Kojima game is bound to elicit a few questions, and Death Stranding 2 is no exception. Why is protagonist Sam Porter Bridges old? Why was Fragile trying to escape with a BB? And from who? What's that spaceship about? How do all the other teased actors play a part? Is Higgs really back? Perhaps most important, when can we expect it to release? The answers aren't forthcoming, but Kojima has teased plenty, from new techniques, allowing for more photorealistic CG, with actors Elle Fanning saying it's going to look even better despite already being outstanding, to changing the meaning of Strand and using music in brand new ways. It's a lot, but also not very much, and we must know more. With Japanese voice recording starting this year, a 2024 launch on PS5 may not happen, but we can still hope. Silent Hill 2. Among the eagerly awaited remakes is Silent Hill 2, finally revealed in 2022 with the Medium and Layers of Fear developer Bloober team at the helm. It's developed on Unreal Engine 5 and looks downright amazing, while delivering revamped combat with an over-the-shoulder camera and set pieces. Best of all, there won't be any changes to the narrative core of the experience, as Konami aims to make it as close to the original as possible. 2023 came and went without new trailers, details, or footage, but development still is progressing smoothly. Based on PlayStation trailers for upcoming 2024 releases, it could very well launch this year on PS5 and PC. It's not official until Konami makes it official, so stay tuned. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake. Remember when Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake was announced in September 2021 and promised a ground-up remake to the joy of many fans? How Aesper Media was in charge of the big-name PS5 exclusive? That was less than 3 years ago, and since then, there have been rumors of development shifting to another developer, cancellations, refuting the cancellation, and so on. We know nothing about the remake, how it plays, or its visuals outside the first announcement trailer. Here's hoping for some good news in the coming months. Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac Games ended 2023 with one of the most devastating leaks in gaming history, but that hasn't dulled out our enthusiasm for Marvel's Wolverine. Helmed by the team behind Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales fame, it promises a mature tone while respecting the character's DNA. As a standalone title, it features some top-of-the-line developers and creative team. Regardless of whenever it releases and how it builds on the anti-hero's mythos while offering some compelling gameplay, it should be as big of a PS5 exclusive as Insomniac's Spider-Man titles. Sword of the Sea. When a game offers a hover sword, a sword crossed with a hoverboard, skateboard, and snowboard, do you need much more? Giant Squid of Abzu and the Pathless fame thought so with its next title, Sword of the Sea. Featuring the Necropolis, a vast world of waves, players must revitalize the sea while tackling dangerous leviathans, with the ability to execute sick tricks and effortlessly cut through massive landscapes to composer Austin Wintory's music. Sword of the Sea looks to be another classic in the making from Giant Squid. It's coming to PS5 and PC with a release date yet to be announced. Phantom Blade Zero. If there weren't enough stylish hack-and-slash titles coming to PS5 and PC in the future, add S-Game's Phantom Blade Zero to the list. It's inspired by Ninja Gaiden with a steampunk aesthetic and easily executable combos, though there's still parrying and dodging. But wait, there's more! It also offers a 30 to 40 hour story with plenty of side quests, an in-game with a roguelike activity and multiplayer dungeons. While it sounds too good to be true, S-Games will release a 30-minute demo this year, so we'll probably experience Phantom Blade Zero's blend of action sooner rather than later. Helldivers 2. Arrowhead Game Studios' Helldivers has been long overdue for a sequel, one that allows for traveling the galaxy and waging war against aliens for the sake of Super Earth. Cue Helldivers 2, not only upping the fidelity, but going third person, increasing the immersion as you call down stratagems like airstrikes and chuck explosives at the hordes of bugs, or sentient robots. All the first game's mechanics from friendly fire to 4-player co-op are here. Progression is still a bit mysterious, but it seems mission completion and clearing hostile locations will be part of the grand war effort. We'll find out when Helldivers 2 launches on February 8th for PS5 and PC. Lost Soul Aside. Lost Soul Aside began development in 2014, when solo developer Yang Bean sought to create a hack-and-slash action RPG inspired by modern slashers. As the years progressed, the project grew bigger and joined Sony's China Hero project with the development team Ulti Zero Games established. It's in development for PS5 and PC, and while a release window isn't still confirmed, the extensive gameplay from last year looks sharp, with promising combat and boss battles. Fairgame. The past year hasn't been great for fans of heist games, with underwhelming titles like Crime Boss Rocky City and Payday 3. Nevertheless, Haven Entertainment Studios' Fairgame could offer a fresh competitive heist experience for PS5 and PC. As a present-day Robin Hood, you're part of a movement to rob the rich, venturing into locations and stealing as much as possible while presumably dealing with rival crews. There's a focus on emergent sandbox elements, with the CGI trailer showcasing grappling hooks and using environmental objects as shields, but a release window and gameplay have yet to be revealed. Concord. If one first-party multiplayer with barely any details to go by isn't enough, how about two? Firewalk Studios' Concord is a sci-fi first-person shooter focused on PvP, with players venturing to different worlds and interacting with colorful characters. It's part of Sony's slate of live service titles coming to PS5 and PC in 2024, but that's pretty much all we know. Firewalk and Sony have partnered since 2021, with the publisher acquiring the developer just last year. There's a very strong chance of Concord arriving this year, but at this point we need more details, and maybe a public beta or two just to try it out. Exel Edge. Many titles in PlayStation's China Hero project offer stylish aesthetics and visuals. Enigmatrix's Exel Edge has a certain grunge to it, though taking place on a planet of massive sci-fi constructs and oceans. Players control a tower diver who ventures to these constructs with third-person shooting and abilities. While it's somewhat reminiscent of Outriders in gameplay look and feel, the movement appears much faster-paced with all the kinds of fantastical enemies and creatures to battle. Exel Edge doesn't have a release window, but it is exclusive to PS5. Daa Land of Watercar. Exclusive to PS5, Daa Land of Watercar looks very stylish with some Sekiro-esque parry mechanics and imaginative bosses. The story focuses on a clay puppet Daa, who turns human and must collect water fragments to save the world. Boasting interconnected levels, from ruins to snowy landscapes and a sharp aesthetic, it could be another worthwhile action RPG for Sony's catalog. Valeria. Yet another title announced years ago, Valeria is also a part of PlayStation China's Hero project. In development for PS4 and PS5, it's seemingly an extraction shooter as up to 100 players battle PvE threats and engage in PvP. There are missions to complete, resources to gather, and mysteries to solve. The art style mixes sci-fi and fantasy with a large map to explore and over-the-top enemies to fight. It looks fun and chaotic, but again, a release window has yet to be announced. Project the Perceiver. Paper Games' Project the Perceiver is touted as a multi-platform title, but has thus far only been confirmed for PS4 and PS5. Based on Lao Zhung's canon, it's an open-world action game with players controlling the Master of Veritas. You meet different characters and consolidate their distinctive ideals into masks, as described by the developer, and combat looks fairly punishing. A release window is still unknown, but hopefully there will be more details this year. The Winds Rising. Another title in the China Hero project, The Winds Rising is a PS5 action RPG with a heavy narrative focus. Players control a girl who meets a monster cub and embarks on an adventure which could shape the kingdom, promising a refreshing and smooth combat experience along with an immersive and captivating story. The Winds Rising has yet to receive any gameplay or other details, but it comes from Thai Games, who released the underrated Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. For that reason alone, it's worth keeping an eye on. Towers of Agasa. A gorgeous-looking open-world title with surreal flora and fauna, Dreamlit Inc.'s Towers of Agasa is about exploration and nurturing settlements. Set on the titular island, you can create massive villages and watch them grow with various inhabitants. As a member of the Shimu tribe, you're tasked with revitalizing the land, interacting with strange creatures, and ultimately restoring the ecosystem. There's even a bit of Animal Crossing New Horizons mixed in, as you could visit other players' islands or invite them to your own and explore together. Towers of Agasa doesn't have a release date, but it's coming to PS5 and PC. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.